Hello, my name is Shai Shire, and I am the CEO of Fighting Injustice Standing Together, also known as FIST. This is the FIST indoctrination slide deck for volunteers. We are extremely happy you are volunteering for FIST. As you may already know, FIST is a new nonprofit, and we are constantly upgrading and making our position better to serve women who are currently incarcerated and those who are returning back to their communities. The very first thing I want to emphasize is we want you to be part of this team as a certified volunteer. We are willing to dedicate however many hours it takes for you to feel comfortable in executing your role. To make sure you feel comfortable before you first engage with clients and ensure our clients are receiving the support they deserve. Our goal is a 100% volunteer pass rate. Some folks will get everything right away. Others may struggle because they learn differently. It may take you longer to learn everything. That's okay. Don't feel bad or feel rushed. You may need to review videos or slides multiple times. And you may need more than 2 in-person Zoom training sessions. That is all okay. We are in this together. We are always open to suggestions and feedback. Like I said, we are constantly trying to improve our posture on every level of FIST. We hope to even advance this training process in the coming months as well. Lastly, please know that my door is always open. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to myself or one of my team members. All right, let's get started. I'm going to transition to my colleague, our volunteer coordinator, Laura Tarantino. Take it away, Laura.
Thanks, Shai. Fighting Injustice Standing Together is a 501c3 nonprofit registered in Washington, D.C., with the mission of providing services to support and transform incarcerated individuals and individuals returning to communities. FIST was started by Shai Shire, whom you just heard from, who spent years serving incarcerated women in a poetry and written language program called the Prison to Poetry Pipeline. After obtaining her degree in criminal justice and consulting with colleagues in the social worker and criminal justice community, and after consulting with women who have been through her program, she started this nonprofit as a way to help women obtain jobs and elevate them through support, confidence building, and leadership exercises. As part of the training requirements, please visit our website at fistdc.org and go through the different pages, especially the services page, to get some context about how we structure and implement services for women. Fighting Injustice Standing Together is really operating in a startup fashion, with a very small team. But with that said, this is how we are aiming our organizational structure to look like. You can see it is a bit different from other organizational hierarchies, with the CEO at the bottom of the chart, but that's really the kind of culture we wanted to create. The true force behind this organization comes from folks like you, who are volunteering an hour or so every month to support women you may never meet, and that's incredible. Right now, our volunteer core is within our service division, under our service team branch. As we said, FIST is a very small organization right now, so you'll probably be working with Shai, myself, and a couple other individuals most of the time. I promise you that we are super approachable. We really want to create an environment where volunteers never hesitate to reach out when they need help or have questions. We also want to encourage volunteers to disagree and debate with us on our approach to things. We've gone through several readiness reviews with professionals to create a service that can be delivered to formerly incarcerated women, but we are always looking to improve and learn. Lastly, the team also has a senior advisor group and board of directors that we seek approval with for all activities that FIST launches. There are 3 main swim lanes for volunteers. Each requires specific training. So, depending on what you are volunteering for, you should have received an email package with the training requirements tailored to that volunteer position. First, starting on the left side of the slide, we have the chat hotline. The purpose of the chat hotline is to listen, engage, and provide resources to returning citizens. We have a chat feature on our website that formerly incarcerated individuals can access on their phones or computers and begin chatting with our volunteers. From the volunteer perspective, we give you a login access to chat back with clients, and also some tools such as suggested talking points and a resource library in case it makes sense to refer clients to a different organization. Through this chat platform is how we will connect clients with our 4 primary services, which are shown in the middle of the slide. When a client requests one of our 4 primary services, the chat volunteer sends the client a form to fill out. When the client returns the form, our FIST staff will receive it, quality review it, and send that form to one of the service provider volunteers who is available to perform those services. The service providers are the 4 humans in the middle of the slide. Each of these out-of-prison service provider volunteers are trained to provide those specific services. The resume writing and job search services don't typically require a phone call or Zoom call with clients, but they could, depending on the volunteer. Those services can usually be done using the answers the client provides on the forms the clients submit. But the interview prep and goal setting volunteers do engage directly with the clients via Zoom or Skype. Finally, we have the in-prison service provider volunteers, which attend and support various class types inside prisons. The in-prison services are primarily focused on confidence building and leadership activities that range from skill building programs to written language programs to art, poetry, and drama activities. All right, so training is really dependent on you and your schedule. The first phase of training is based on you making it through these videos, links, and readings comfortably. And the second phase are the in-person Zoom call sessions. There are usually 2 of these, but sometimes volunteers may need 5 of these. It just depends. Right now, the 2 sessions are broken down, with the first session being a friendly walkthrough of the tools you may use, answering your questions, and a review of key areas we want to make sure you fully understand. The second session is a friendly practice trial session, where we will do an exercise from start to finish and see how you do. And like I said, you may need 5 of these before you feel comfortable. That is fine and perfectly normal. Don't be frustrated if we let you know we need a couple more practice sessions. Everyone learns differently. The bottom line is we just want to make sure you are overly comfortable as a volunteer. Okay, a couple more things. Every volunteer has to sign a volunteer agreement from which you should have in your email packet. All volunteering is done remotely unless you are an in-prison volunteer or a very experienced volunteer helping us out with some customized services. Volunteer accounts are limited to chat volunteers, and volunteers should only be signed in when they are actively volunteering. And of course, your hours are flexible as a volunteer. We ask that you do your best to be able to volunteer for at least 1 hour a month. Now, back over to our fearless leader, Shy Shire.
Thank you so much, Laura. And thank you for being a volunteer. We are extremely grateful and look forward to being on the same team together. As I stated earlier, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. And always remember, one day, injustice will be just a word in the dictionary.